Okay. So let me let everyone in.
Done.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. What an exciting day. It's Thursday, March 14th, and we are having our very first session for the 100 Days
It looks like Maggie's
2024.
not hearing us. Brent, are you hearing us?
Okay. Who cannot hear us?
Maggie, are you able to hear us now?
If not, you might need to log out again and come back in. Sometimes that changes it.
Tara, are you hearing us? Deborah, we're good, yeah? Good.
Okay.
It looks
Brent's
like,
not hearing us.
yeah.
Okay, so we need to,
Karen?
can you text her?
Can Karen hear us?
Brett, can you
Yep.
hear us? Okay, good. Because if there's an issue, Maggie, let us to unmute. Can I unmute her?
There's Alexis.
Yeah, so it's a DT Devo Baba, so we are starting with, yeah, so she left Maggie and maybe she's coming back. So yeah, we have the 100 days, and first of all, I would like you to put in the chat, where are you from? What country are you in, and where you're from? And the other question is, how did you hear about the 100 days? I mean, from some of you I know, but still, if you would put that in the chat as the beginning.
And the
And
chat
maybe,
is located under the More button on the menu. If you click More, the fourth thing down says Chat, and that'll open it in a window to the side of your view.
yeah, sometimes it's also right at the bottom, depending on how wide your screen is, or if you're on a iPad or the phone, it's located different. So Nicoleta, she is from Romania and lives in Austria. Okay. So you might speak some German maybe. And so Maggie is coming back. Then Karen is in Iowa and she heard from Clint. Then Brett is from Colorado Springs. Okay, snow in Colorado. Okay. Then we have Katie is in Sacramento, and she heard was introduced to the ancient secrets through friends who met Dr. Clint in Mexico. Alex Six is in Marble Falls. Tara is
That's
in
in Texas.
Pennsylvania. Yep. Then who else? Patricia is in Erie, Colorado. Again, and she's repeating the 100 days. And then we have Deborah Ann, she is from Michigan, and she heard about the ancient secrets from Vimala Rogers. So quite a few people. For everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Cornelia Merck, and I'm kind of hosting the 100 Days together with Carol K. Ray. And I came to the ancient secrets before most of the people did, because I met Dr. Clint in 2016 at an event with Jack Canfield. Some of you might know him. Jack Canfield is the author or co-author of the book, of the whole series of Chicken Soup for the Soul. And he is such a successful author that he actually teaches other authors, or aspiring authors, I should say, how to kind of bring the book into the world. And this is why I actually went to an event with him, and Clint was there as well. And he was introducing and speaking about the Ancient Secrets book, even though it wasn't finished yet at that time. And that's how we met. And I offered him to actually edit the book, because that's my background. I'm a proofreader and editor. And so I said, okay, I would like to be involved in that. And I kind of just walked over and offered it to him, and he was completely perplexed. Who is she kind of offering that to me? She doesn't even know me. But I felt that the book, even though I had just written my own book about health and healing, I felt that the message that Clint had was so much more important than what I had to say, because it was based on something different, on really about, I got that feeling and the sense about love that mine was, the book that I had written was really kind of academic, also about self-help to heal yourself, but not necessarily kind of exuding the love that Clint has been sharing in his book. And I felt that this was the message that is needed right now. And so that is why I offered him to do that. And now I'm here 8 years later, and doing a lot of things for Ancient Secrets. And I just love how my life has changed since that moment. Carol, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. My Carol Wright, and proud collaborator and collector of recipes and stories from around the world in the Ancient Secrets cookbook. And that was quite the endeavor and labor of love. And I'm so excited that it's now been translated into German by my dear friend Cornelia, and Portuguese, and in progress, Italian, Spanish, and Bulgarian. So that's been a really exciting endeavor, and it's so gratifying to hear from people who say, I was in so much pain, I had so much inflammation, and after starting this, the detox and going through using the cookbook, I'm inflammation free. I have brain fog lifted, and so that's been really exciting. And for me personally, in 2020, I had just come through almost 2 years of grief after grief after grief, and my body was feeling the grief. I had a cane. I couldn't do the stairs at work. I had a back brace. I was getting steroid shots in my back and my bursa joints, and was in terrible pain from psoriatic arthritis. And I thought I was eating healthy because I ate salads all the time. Turns out my body can't break down salads. So once I had this dream about healer heal the self, he'll help heal the world. And soon, like the next day, I was introduced to Dr. Clint's Sunday call, and then he announced a new group starting a miracle experiment game, Heal Yourself, Heal the World. And so as soon as I retired, May 2020, I became a full-time volunteer, and have done so for 4 years. And this journey has taken me to India and Nepal and Japan. And it's been so rewarding, so exciting. And recently we had a clinic with Dr. Clint in Austin, Texas, and we have Alicia here who came to that clinic, and my son Nathan was also in that clinic. So welcome to those who are here from Austin clinic recently. So that's really exciting. And the 100-day course is amazing. You learn so much about yourself and your body and how it works. You learn about some of the terms that you hear that are just kind of, for a lot of people, they've heard it before, but they don't really understand it. So, and I always like to remind people, this is not about information, it's about transformation, to take what you hear and what you're absorbing and really put it to work in your life. So thanks for being here today. I'm excited for you on this 100-day journey. And some of you don't know, the 100 days was what Dr. Naram went through when he was going to his master. He was already an MD, but unhappy with his life. And his master kept every day for 100 days saying, come back tomorrow, come back tomorrow, come back tomorrow. And that story is a beautiful one that's in the book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer by Clint G. Rogers. If you haven't read it, it's a great read. You can also listen to it on audio. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And so that is a little bit about the introduction. Just before we get really started, Dr. Clint wanted to be here this morning and kind of introduce or welcome everyone here to the course. Unfortunately, he's in India at the moment. Some of you might know that. And his car broke down, or the bus that they are in broke down in the Himalayas. So they got stuck, and he just sent me a message and sent us a little video now because he couldn't be here. And let me just read it out. So he said, we got stranded in the Himalayan mountain when the headlights of our vehicle suddenly stopped working. So we just now recorded something for you to share. That's actually then right to me. And then he said, and the good news was a truck stopped to help us. Also, they couldn't figure out why our headlights went out. He said we can drive close behind him and he will be our headlights. So at least they could get to where they needed to go at some point, but he just didn't make it to be here. So I'm going to play his message right now. And if you could just give me
Cornelia, while that's coming up, when are you going to do the technical intro?
The technical intro will be in the middle of the presentation because what we are going to do, not everything is live, as you might have heard. So we are using a recording from last year's where Dr. Clint was actually teaching the session. And in the middle of it, we were doing the text part, and he is actually leading into that. So we will stop that video, and then I will do the tech part live today, because that is the best way to do it. Because also, if you have questions, then I can answer them instead of just watching recording. And so you can then ask your questions. So let me just share the screen with the video. Okay, so here we go, and I make it a little bit bigger so you can see it better. Okay.
Hey everybody! Right now, on the same day when your course is starting, we were supposed to make it so it could be live. We're on a bus and suddenly, coming from the Himalayas, actually coming from one of the most amazing days, with Romarishi, with Tara, Shakti, with Jaina, with Gita, with Poonam. Yeah. And I really don't know what to say about the day other than Aditi Deva Baba, we're driving down the mountains of the Himalayas, and as our little bus is driving, the headlights go out. And so we don't have headlights currently. Not exactly sure when we make it to the city, but we got to a little area where I have a little bit of Wi-Fi or cellular reception where I can send this video to you, just encouraging you to embrace the Aditi Deva Baba, the unexpected experiences that can happen during this course, that we say, treat the unexpected guests as if God himself or herself has come. Anything you want to say, Romarishi, about this trip, the Siddha Masters? Are people beginning the journey of the 100 days?
Oh my God, there's so much we could say. It's been amazing. It really has been amazing. Today, our day started off this morning by visiting 136-year-old Himalayan master.
Yeah.
And Tara and I have known him for, ever since 2011. And we've become dear friends. And he is wonderful. And I wanted to share him with all of these wonderful people. Clint and Poonam and Jaina and
Gita.
And it's been a wonderful trip. It's been far exceeding our expectations.
Yeah, one thing I want to add on to that. So we met this beautiful master. He told us to go to this cave. And in that space, there's a lot of things that I won't share right now. But then afterwards, we came down to the ashram of another great master. We met this beautiful man. And Poonam, what did he say when we kept asking him questions about, can we meditate? Can you give us some wisdom? Can you share some of that?
We asked if we could meditate with him, and he basically just said that this is a meditation. Like, all of us being together and just being happy and laughing is one of the greatest meditations of life. So it was really sweet. We kept saying, well, can we close our eyes and can we do a meditation? He's like, this is it.
Yeah. And so sometimes you may go in search of a guru or go in search of a master. What I think will happen during this 100-day course, and what happened actually ultimately meeting Dr. Ram and in the creation of the book Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, is it points you back to yourself. And any great guru, any great master always does this. And in the Ancient Secrets journey, this 100-day experience isn't about information, it's about transformation. you are going on a journey. And how beautiful that we start the journey here in the Himalayas with Roma Rishi Siddhanath, with Tara Shakti, with Jaina, first time in India, with this great, amazing person Geeta, with Poonam. And so as you're on this journey of the 100 days, I would just say, follow Dr. Naram's, what his master told him, give 100% and let love guide you. It will go from information into transformation when you go from knowing to doing to being. And even this last great master, we didn't want to leave because we were sitting around the fire with him and feeding the monkeys. Jaina fed monkeys.
I fed monkeys and petted cows. It was awesome.
Yeah, we're feeding the cows today, and you'll have that experience in this journey of looking deeper inside yourself. Now, I want to make sure I send this video so it gets to you in time, but just want to say that we love you, we're with you, and so excited for this powerful 100-day experience. We call it more than a course. It's a 100-day experience because you really will get a deeper experience of yourself and of what's possible for vibrant health, unlimited energy, and peace of mind. Just want to say how much I love Dr. Naram for introducing the Ancient Secrets to me, and I'm so excited now for you to get an experience of them in a deeper way. I love you and I'm with you.
So, Aditi Devo Baba everywhere. So,
I
that
want to
is one
welcome Al
of,
Mal too, who's coming in.
yeah, he was coming in, and so we have some, and Till came in as well. Sergi is here. Then Patricia is here. Nathan is here. Melissa, we haven't welcomed you. Maggie is here. Karen. Then I have someone who is here with a phone, and I have no idea who you are because it just says Galaxy N. So whoever, Galaxy Note 10. Then we have Colin here, Brad, Ariona, and then Alexis as well. So welcome everyone. And then of course, Katie and Deborah and Tara. I hope I have mentioned everyone. So the group this time is pretty small. And I love that because that will give us a chance to really connect as a group in a way that we couldn't do when you have 200 people in the course, which we had the last time. And the first time we did it when full taught was, we had more than 300 people on the course. So this time we will have small groups as well. Some of you might know that last time we had houses, and within those houses, underneath we had smaller groups, which we called pods. So as we are not as many people, we will just have pods, but we name them according to what we did the last time, according to the houses. So we will have an Amrapali house, we will have a Ramdas house, we will have, not house, a pod, we will have a Jivaka pod, and we will have a Pankaj pod. And we will have then also kind of mentors that are guiding these groups. And so you have also, besides being in the bigger group, you also have a smaller group where you can get to know each other even better and really become a close circle of like family or friends and really go deep with your sharing that you might not necessarily want to do in the bigger group. And so we will put you in breakout rooms at the end of this call. And this is where you will meet your mentor, who it will be, and in which house you're going to be. You have already met Carol, as she will be the one in the Jivaka house. I myself will be guiding the Ramdas house. And then we have two more mentors, and I want to introduce them. And they are, first of all, Katie, if you want to unmute yourself, or I kind of can spotlight you for a moment. Hi, Katie.
Hi, I'm very, very, very honored and happy and excited to be here with all of you, and really curious to see where love guides us and what we all discover. It's an amazing course. I'm so glad you all are here.
Do you want to share a little bit of your story, how you came to the 100 days?
Oh gosh. Well, let's see. As I said earlier, I met Dr. Clint through friends who met him in Mexico. They told me about him because they had been with me in a long health struggle journey that started in 1997 when I got pneumonia and I just never got better. And I steadily declined to the point where, after a small car accident in 2019, I was in a wheelchair and really didn't leave the house except to go to medical appointments in a wheelchair. Not because I couldn't walk, but because I just didn't have any energy at all. I was horizontal most of the day. I just had a friend remind me that she would come over to see me and she could stay for 5 minutes because that was all I could handle. And so in February of 2021, I went to a pulse clinic that was here in Sacramento. Just happened to be very, very skeptical. And Dr. Clint asked me what did I want, and read my pulses and looked at me and said, it's possible. It will take time, but it's possible. And that was in February 2021. I did the detox. I followed the recommendations. I did everything he said. Like Carol, I was eating tons of salads. I stopped the salads, cooked sloppy foods, became my mainstay. And by the end of August of that year, I had walked a mile and totally fine. By the end of October, I hiked 6 miles with 1,000 feet elevation change. And I mean, I've been in this world, in this community ever since, and did the 1-year immersion, few miracle experiment experiences, the 100 days, and just it's really become the center of my life. And some of you have been with me for the whole thing, and you've seen the transformations that have happened for me. And to get to be here and share this with all of you is just such a gift. It truly is a transformative experience, and following the principles will change your life. Yeah, certainly changed mine, and I'm so thankful to be here.
Thank you so much, Katie, for sharing that. And so she will be in the Amrapali house. Then Deborah Ann, she is our other mentor. Can you unmute yourself?
A technically challenged mentor. Oh, I am very happy you all have said yes to yourselves and you're here. My journey to this moment was a lifetime to get here, but I arrived with the inability to walk from osteoarthritis on my right leg, so it was painful to walk. And I didn't know what I want, and I was very withdrawn, okay with my family. And I learned in the ancient secrets from the marmas that we learn to discover what I want. I knew I didn't want to be in pain, but I know that wasn't the direction we were supposed to go with our what do you want? We need to envision a positive thing. And I realized it was I want to dance again, because I grew up a teenager dancing and Mexican folklore dancing. And that was in 2019, and most of 2020, this knee was just a burden. And then Vimala Rogers recommended the book, and so I love her. I read it, was surprised, and started the mung bean soup immediately. And by the January of 2021, I had reduced pain in my knee, continued the mung bean soup, got on the Sunday calls, went with the doctor, got some herbs. I didn't realize I was going to get my mind back, my energy level back. I am awake more hours today than I was when I was a youth. My teenage days, I was in bed by 8 o'clock because I've been sick most of my life. And everything I've learned about how to interact with people, how to interact with my body. The 100 Days course revealed so much and changed my life. This community has changed my life. And I am so happy you have said yes to yourself, and you're here to make these experience these wonderful things for yourself and discover the best you can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah, for sharing that. And yeah, this is, as Clint was saying, and he will say it again when we go to the recording, this is, and what Carol already said, this is a course that is not about information alone. There will be on information, but it is about transformation. And the transformation will depend on how much you put into it. Give your 100%, as Dr. Clint was saying, because that is really what brings it out. And you will, every week, also a little bit for what's going to happen. We will have a call like that where we will teach some information, give you some information about certain topics. Today is just an introduction and an overview. And then you will, each week, you will have a challenge activity. And that challenge activity will take you sometimes to face your ego, to face your fears. It will challenge you. That's why they are called challenge activities. And but they are all meant to help you to overcome maybe certain blockages that you might have, and also deepen the knowledge. For example, in Dr. Clint is going to speak about that. We will do certain activities within the challenge activities where you actually have to, for example, learn something about the plants that are in your environment. What kind of herbs are actually growing, or plants that are growing right around you that might be really helpful and good to take. That is knowledge that most of us have forgotten or never got, even as from our upbringing, that they are definitely, and we all know when you go back, Carol is actually the one normally who should probably share this story about Chivaka, that they were sent out into the forest and to look for plants that have no value. And some of the doctors came back and had whole sacks full of plants that they said they are just weeds, we cannot do anything. And Chivaka came back and he said he couldn't find one single plant that has not value, medicinal value. And but we don't know about those things. And also spices that we have in our kitchen have medicinal value that we don't know about. And you will learn a lot about that in this 100-day course. And that is so exciting because it really gives us the opportunity to learn about things that we have at our disposal. We just don't know how to use them. And that for me was really an incredible journey to when I did the 100 days in 2021. It opened up a completely new world for me that I had a clue existed. So that is kind of a little bit what we, as an introduction. Are there any questions at the moment? Anyone who would like me to talk about anything right now? I just, let me go into gallery view so I can see everyone. Maggie. Yeah.
In some of the documentation that we got before the thing, it kept talking about Saturdays. Are we meeting on Saturdays? No.
No, that was my mistake. I apologize for that.
Oh, no problem.
I was dealing with so many different documents, and I thought I had already changed everything, but I hadn't. And so that, because we took the information from the last course, and that's when we met on a Saturday. So the meetings will be on Thursday. There might be the one or other call that we do, like bonus calls on a Saturday. Okay. That might happen, but the regular training calls will be actually on a Thursday morning, like now, 8 o'clock Pacific time.
Okay. Thank you.
And just for everyone who's in Europe, for you it will change in a couple of weeks, maybe on the third call, because America has already changed the clock, but Europe has not. So when Europe is changes, then of course your time will then be different. Then it will be an hour later. Instead of 4 o'clock in Germany, it will be 5 o'clock then, when the course will be the calls. Any other questions right now? And yeah, Ariana.
Can you hear me
There you go.
now?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah. So when you say it's a 100-day course, so is that going to be 100 Thursdays, or is it because we have work during the week we do? So we have work during
Yeah.
the week we do, and those are all part of that 100 days.
It's 14 weeks. So the
Yeah.
course, we have
Okay.
14 calls like that. And
Okay.
so the time in between adds up to about 100 days.
Got
So,
it.
but
Just
as
wanted to
you're
make
kind of
sure.
saying, yeah, as you kind of pointing out, it will be actually doing some things maybe every single day. And
Yes.
so we will
I
talk
get
about that in the when it comes to the challenge activities and what to do.
Great. Thanks.
Okay. Yep.
Cornelia, Colin would like to know how long the sessions will be. It's in the
We try to do it in 90 minutes. Today we will be definitely a little bit over it because we are already half an hour in, and the video that I'm going to play is about an hour, a little underneath. And then we still want to go into the breakout rooms right after that. So that will be a little bit longer today, but we plan on being between 90 minutes, depending on the topic. So that is what we have so far. Then, okay, I would say let's go. And Carol?
I was just going to remind everybody that we have the WhatsApp chat open, and you did get a link in email. If you haven't done so, I highly recommend that you join the chat there, where you can receive documents and information and reminders and those kinds of things. And if you read the description, it has kind of the rules for engaging in our chats, where we keep things about the ancient secrets, and we ask you not to post about other events, other books, and things like that. That the topic is the 100 Days course and ancient secrets, and that we're limiting the discussion to that, just so we don't run into any problems. So thanks for taking time to review that.
Okay, and I just for everyone who hasn't been, who isn't not yet in the chat, in the WhatsApp chat for this group, I just posted the link in the chat here. Melissa?
Quick question. I'm just trying to log on my iPad. And so it's different. Oh, it's asking me a meeting ID. Just my computer's it's not charging, and I hope it doesn't die on me. It's techie information here. I might have to join on my phone then. It's the way it's asking me on my iPad is not usual.
Yeah, it depends. You should have, normally when you want to go into, you can either go in with the browser that I don't know what you have. If you have iPad, it should normally offer is Safari. So you type in then the Zoom link, and then you need to put in the idea. Or if you have downloaded the app onto your iPad, then you can also open the Zoom within the app of Zoom. And that is normally the easiest way, but you need to download it to your iPad or your phone.
I think I did it. Okay, yeah, it came up.
Okay.
Okay. If you could let me in on my iPad, then I'm going to get off on my computer.
Okay, we'll let you in when you pop up again here on the screen. Okay, so let's get started with the recording. I just need to open it in my background here. Okay, so you should see my screen now, and we can get
All
started here.
right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, so excited, humbled, delighted, in awe to be here with you on this very historic, I don't know how to say it. Before the call with some of the team, the core team who's been putting this together with so much love, we had a moment of silence, just a minute of silence. And in the silence, I said, I don't know whether to cry or laugh. I felt spontaneous joy. I felt the awe in the significance of this moment and the joy of being here with you now. So please, in the chat, just please put your name and where you're joining from. So that way people can start to get to know you. I want you to just go ahead and put your name and where you're joining from. We have actually in this experience, people joining from over 24 countries. And it's so exciting to see what happens when love guides you here. The opening quote in the book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, this is the Turkish version, but the opening quote says, I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you. And love will teach you. And in the introduction, it says that you're not here by accident. Something guided you here. And so it's going to be very exciting to discover over this period of time with you what guided you here. I want to start off actually. Oh, so fun. I'm just reading all the people joining from the chats. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll share my screen here. We have also some special guests that I'll announce in a moment. What does that mean to you? Well, first of all, isn't it interesting how did love guide you here? We're going to actually be in breakout rooms during a part of today where you'll have a chance to share with others what guided you here and what do you want? You know, what is your intention in being here? I want to start off the whole thing by just expressing gratitude. Big gratitude to Dr. Naram, big gratitude to this whole lineage of masters that have preserved these ancient secrets so that way we can benefit today. There's a story behind why it's the 100-day experience that I'll share later, but what a precious, sacred thing to be here in this 100-day experience. In fact, actually I want to share my screen where we'll have a couple people read this quote in their native language, which is going to be really fun, starting with the one and only. I want to recognize on this call, Dr. Giovanni Brinciavali. Are you there, Dr. Giovanni?
Wow, namaste. Buonasera, buonasera a tutti. Most welcome to this wonderful 100 days experience. And I had a patient that after reading a book, he said that this book, and so for extension, obviously all the ancient secrets, belongs to the humanity, is like human heritage. And so while we are putting in practice, helping the others, using this the principle, so we are becoming better person, and we are in a way helping the world to become a better place to live, as Dr. Naram always say. So I will say the expression in the Italian expression, the first quote of the book.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So, non sono venuto per insegnarti, sono venuto per amarti. L'amore sarà il tuo maestro. Yes. And this is the very book that Dr. Clint and myself, we have signed for the daughter of my niece, and she is age 2. So at the age of 2, while she was having the baptism, she was baptized. So Clint and I, we got the idea to give to this small girl that she is age 2. See, she's not speaking, she's not reading, but when she grows, she has the guide. She will have the guide of the mother, love, and this book. So this is very good auspicious. good auspicious for everybody, all the human beings, especially for us that we are following this system and this practice. So yes, congratulations, and yes, all the blessings, and congratulations to also all the other guide. Yeah, Dr. Deepika, Dr. Steven, yeah, Dr. Vinay, yeah, UK, and to all the people that are behind, that are making this all these meetings possible.
Yeah, one thing I want to recognize that's unique. First of all, thank you, Giovanni, for everyone most everyone here has read the book. You know, Giovanni's featured in the first chapter and throughout. And one thing that I love that's significant about it, not only that he, as a medical doctor, he chose this path because he found it it gave him more possibility to help people in a deeper way, but that he devoted himself in such a way that I love that the first chapter of the book isn't about something Dr. Naram did. Because you may think, oh, healing comes from someone else that has some mystical ability. But actually, it came from Dr. Giovanni, from when the ancient secrets were present and someone had devoted their life to just learn some of the basic principles, things that look like miracles happen, but is really an ancient science. And in this 100-day experience, one of the unique things is you're not taught by someone that just has a philosophical understanding. You know, you're not shared, the truths aren't shared by someone that just teaches it in a school, but it's by practitioners, people that are living it. And so Giovanni, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your heart, your love. And I consider Giovanni not just a national treasure, but a global treasure. I feel like he's one of the most, I just think he's a big treasure. I describe him in the book, or one of his patients describe him as a big heart with just arms and legs attached. And so he's also a living example of what it means to let love guide. So thank you, Giovanni, so much for coming on the call.
Yes. And I want also to bring the salute, the greetings, the love also from Dr. Sandhya, that she is now in Japan, and there is I say deep night there. So, but she is extending her blessings, to all of you, and she will help also in co-host someday to be a guide in some of our meetings.
Yeah, Giovanni, real quick, can you read this in Japanese for us, the opening quote in Japanese?
Yes, because it is upside down, so I cannot read.
All right, we'll have Sandhya read that when she comes. But thank you, Giovanni, so much for being here.
Okay.
Love you, and so grateful for you. All right, I just want to say, what does that mean to let love guide? What does it mean? So we have some things that we want to do to start today off, to give us the proper, because even with Giovanni or the other house guides or house mentors or myself, we're really not your teacher in this experience. We're not. The most important teacher in this experience is love. And so what does that mean? So we're going to inaugurate or initiate this whole experience with a blessing, a prayer. And then we're actually going to go into a deep meditation that will drop us from our heads to our hearts, so that we're ready, not only for today, but for what this entire 100-day experience for you individually and for us collectively can mean. I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you. One person who's such a living example of that is Poppy Brightwood. And so I just invited her to come on the call. The ancient secrets are beyond religion. You can be Muslim, you can be Hindu, you can be Christian, you can be atheist, you can be anything. Like the electricity, it just works. It doesn't care what your religious background is, but it works on a very subtle level, helping us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it just felt right as we're beginning this experience of the heart, of divine connection with this ancient secrets, to start off with some kind of an invocation. And so I asked Poppy to do that. Poppy, please.
It's a delight and honor, and I've just been scanning through the faces and the beautiful energies that are present here, energies of the physical and energies of beyond, and it is just such a powerful group, and how this will spread from everybody just being present and sharing will be so beautiful. So if we can just put your feet on the ground, if that's possible, and just close your eyes and just center yourself with 3 long breaths in and out. just center yourself. And we'll just ask for a short blessing while we enter into this space. So it's with deep gratitude for the divine provenance that's guided all souls here to bask in, to absorb, and to share these blessings out, these profound blessings out. Love guides us here from all dimensions. Divine love, divine truth, and humility. It will guide this set of souls to connections and a network of connections that are well beyond this dimension. And this is the truest blessing that will expand so far right across the world, the universe, and even beyond. Etulan marashta asikelushta asekeburushta eselhalarishti telakalamushta aharisi setelachini mulula saka atelishti eselashti mulu. Many blessings to us all, each and every one of us here, all the lives we touch, and from the gratitude that we express to the masters and the teachers that have come before us and that will go after us. This is the most beautiful time to be alive and to share this. With love. Chemulalashta esekedijushta.
So beautiful. Thank you, Poppy. I felt that. I think it's appropriate, Gary, to hand it over to you. Emmy Award-winning composer, producer, dear friend, founder of Wisdom of the World, and just a fantastic example also of letting love guide. Please guide us through some music and meditation as everyone, we have a chance to drop from our heads to our hearts.
I feel so honored and privileged to have been invited to offer my energy into this sacred space. And God, I wish I were in the program now. My God, the energy is just crackling. So I just saw that this beautiful chat that somebody said, Michelle said, love is the language of the universe. Well, I believe music is the universal language of human emotion. So as you listen to my words over this music that I created that was improvised for Sarah McCrum's Transformances, allow the music to soften your capacity to not center so much in your mind, but just let your whole being come into a wholeness with your heart, body, mind, and soul. And this time, what if every one of your 37.5 trillion cells had ears? Because Emoto says that we're all vibration, right? So every one of your cells, let it vibrate at the universal language of human emotion, right? And many people, this is a really important moment in your life, the beginning of the 100 day. So allow these questions to activate your imagination, your wholeness. Let the music start, and I will start asking you some questions, and just let the questions activate your field. Don't try to answer them necessarily. Let it just come up inside of you. Okay. Let's all take a breath together. I have to share the screen. God, the energy is so powerful to hear all these languages.
And do you want people to close their eyes? You want us to spotlight, or just have people just be present with their heart in this moment?
No, I'd like people right now. I'll make a cue to open eyes at some point, but right now, this is an internal gift to yourself. So I encourage you to keep your eyes closed on this one. Okay? All right. Let the music just drop in like silt in a pond. What do you want? with each question, ask yourself, what do you want? Who do you want to be? What are you grateful for? Let whatever arises come forward in your consciousness. What are you grateful for? Do you see the whole world anew every day it begins? Each day, do you see the whole world anew? Do you take the time to really listen to what others are saying to you? Do you really listen? Do you know how to have fun? Do you give yourself time to be playful? How could you bring more joy into your life? Look at all the ways that you can bring more joy into your life, including these next 100 days. Do you see your challenges as opportunities, as Dr. Naram talks about? Do you turn towards those challenges and opportunities as gifts? Do you find yourself judging yourself or others? Just breathe into the part of you that just lets go of judgment. Do you take the time to acknowledge and appreciate people in your life on a regular basis? What makes you happy? What brings a smile to your face? Do you stand up for yourself? And do you forgive yourself regularly? How much a part of your life is smiling and laughing? Do you give yourself time to nurture and nourish? And care for yourself? How do you want to be remembered at the end of your life? After all, what does success really mean to you? How can you add value to the lives of others? How can you serve and be a blessing to whoever you meet? Are you moving in the direction of your dreams? Do you share with your loved ones what you really want? What would you do if you had no fear and money wasn't an issue? Are you living your one and wild, precious life all out? Do you find yourself feeling grateful for your life on a daily basis? Do you keep promises that you've made to yourself? What are you most excited about right now? Do you give yourself permission to make mistakes and fail? And have you forgiven yourself and everyone in your life? The Chinese proverb goes, if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help somebody. So just open your eyes slowly and just feel the blessing of having the music and the questions drop you into this really yummy, receptive state for this adventure that you've all committed yourselves to, the gift that you've given yourselves, this 100-day experience. I am a part of this community and will always be, and I am going to say yes every time an invitation comes. Wish I were in this class with you, but I feel like I'm an unofficial member of the class. So Clint, you know, anytime you want me to pop in, I'm here. And if I'm able to be here, I'm here because I love you all and I'm with you all.
Thank you so much, Gary. Gary himself has such a powerful story about how the ancient secrets have changed his life. And when he was in India, we recorded in the recording studio, Dr. Naram, the last time we captured some of the messages, most poignant messages that now you can find in ancientsecretsfoundation.org, the shop, or you can find at wisdomoftheworld.com. Gary, thank you so much for sharing your gifts. And each of us have such different, unique gifts. Gary is such a good example of someone who is he was doing music for movies and TV shows, commercials, but realized by just using music to open up people's hearts so they buy stuff wasn't his life's purpose. So that's when he thought of, I want to do something else. And he went on the path of letting love guide. And the amazing thing is that it unfolded in such a way that we met. And then through meeting Gary is actually how I met Dr. Naram with our project called 10 Days to Touch 10 Million. And we're trying to help make it so there's less depression and suicide during the holidays. And then it's just so amazing that coming full circle this last holidays, we had several people come on the call that talked about how just because of reading the book, Following the Ancient Secrets, their depression and suicidal tendencies went away. So thank you so much, Gary, for just being in my life and for being in this community. We love you and we're with you. Let's put our hands together like this, just to generate a lot of heat. And just blast it to Gary. We love you and are with you. So grateful for you, Gary. Thank you so much. I want to just come back to, so this training calls is part of the experience of the 100-day experience, part of the whole thing. But there's a lot more. So right now I want to do some logistics, and in the middle of logistics, we'll have a couple other people sharing as well. First person I just want to acknowledge, if she's here, is Heidi Aiden on the call right now? I don't see her on the call right now, but these slides were created by Heidi in such a fantastic way with so much love. I just want to acknowledge her. So some logistics I just want to cover really, really quick. I encourage you as much as possible to come on the calls live so you can interact, but if you can't, then those recordings are there for you. The other thing is that in some courses, this is not your typical course at all, and I'll get to that in a second. Actually, I wonder if that's the next slide. Yeah, this is it. So this is not your typical course. It's not about information. It's about transformation. It's about true transformation. And Dr. Om says a true healer, but also a true successor fulfillment develops on 3 levels: knowing, doing, and being. So in a typical course or classroom experience, at least in the West, you study information and then you regurgitate it on a test. And the most you ever know is at the time you have to take the test, and then you slowly forget everything you learned. We don't want this to be like that at all. We want the knowing to be there. Yes, we'll share with you secrets, very powerful home remedies and marma and different things, but in such a way you'll be doing. And in the doing, it changes your being. So the challenge activities we give every week are some of the most critical things because it's where you apply it. Knowledge applied becomes a wisdom. And so in that space, it changes your being. It's one of the most powerful parts about this experience is that it's not just useful because someone says it's true, but it's useful because you have your own experience of it and you start to trust your inside master, the master inside of you, the guidance of love. Super. I just want to go back to the slides real quick. Dr. Om was such a good example of that. In fact, he's so funny. He would always say, if knowing was doing, then no one would get married. They just read a book about it. Yeah, but you want to do it. And then in the doing, it changes your being. There's a slide right before that. This is about, you're about to discover ancient secrets from a 2,500-year-old unbroken lineage. I'm so grateful for all the masters in this lineage. And I also want to say, though, at the same time, more and more I'm settling into the reality that the most powerful lineage is your connection with divine, whether you call it God or divine love or universe. There's an instantaneous direct connection. That is the most powerful lineage in which I want you to connect with that guidance. Now, the fact that these masters for thousands of years preserve these ancient secrets, master to student, is such a precious gift. So let's utilize that. But the whole point of the ancient secrets isn't to make you dependent on anyone or anything. It's about making you independent. In fact, oftentimes people call this a love story, but what happens is you fall more in love with yourself. Now, again, you could learn to swim by reading a book about swimming, but you don't know if you can swim. Same thing, you've read this book, or most of you have. If you haven't, I highly encourage you to. This 100-day experience isn't just about knowing what's in the pages, but living it in such a way that it changes our being. And when we do it in a way, Dr. Om would say, when we do it in a collective way like this, it has multiple impact, multiple effect. So part of the experience is actually we'll be breaking into houses, kind of a little bit like Harry Potter, where each house is named after one of the masters in this lineage. And the beautiful thing about this experience, this 100-day experience, is one of the houses is actually named Pankaj House. And so I'm just giving gratitude. You can see that I keep the picture of him with me here because he took me as a skeptic, very, very arrogant, and somehow loved me enough that he gave me enough space that I could discover on my own the power of these, not only for myself and my family, but for the planet Earth. And my goal, my mission is that people just know it exists. People may not choose it, but I just want to make sure people know it's a choice. Another disclaimer, in addition to letting everyone know it's being recorded, I just want to say it's important also that we give a medical disclaimer so that way you know that although there are things in this experience that look like medical miracles, honestly. I mean, if you watch the videos or you hear people's stories, it's like, how is that possible? It's important that, especially for legal reasons, we say that we're not giving medical advice. This is a philosophy, a school of thought, and education in which if you have, or you're on medications or anything right now, please don't get off of them without consulting with whoever is your physician. I always say if you want medical advice, go to a medical physician. If you want to learn how to have vibrant health, unlimited energy, and peace of mind, then come for Ancient Secrets. So I'm so glad that you're here for this. There is a technical, because in this process, because we're joining from all over planet Earth, there is some new technologies that we're using. Zoom is one of them. Another one is Kajabi. Another one is you'll be having a one-on-one consultation with your house guide, one of these practitioners, in which you identify one thing from your life that you want to choose to apply the ancient secrets to over the period of this 3 months and beyond. So for all these technologies, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by any of them. We'll walk you through step by step. How do you use Zoom? How do you download the study guide? If you want to use the study guide and type it in, then how do you save it so you make sure you can keep it? Lots of people, it was so beautiful in our first 100-day experience. As I was traveling the world, people would show me their binder where they printed out all the lessons and had them in one place so they could easily refer to the home remedies or the marmas or the different diet secrets that then they would refer to as kind of like their own personal Bible. Actually, I want to just, in this moment, I want to acknowledge Cornelia. There's going to be a bunch of people I acknowledge, but Cornelia, I want to thank you for showing up in so many ways. And can you guide everyone, first of all, just show them where they can access the study guide? Because as I go through the slides from here on out, it's nice if you have your study guide in front of you so you can fill in the blanks and know you're getting everything. Cornelia? Okay, while you're getting that set up, I just want to acknowledge Cornelia. Cornelia is one of so many angels behind this whole experience. Cornelia, I met you how many years ago?
It's about 6 or 7. I think it was 2016.
Yeah, 2016, we were going to Jack Canfield's house. If anyone know Jack Canfield, he co-authored Chicken Soup for the Soul. Anyway, this really beautiful author that sold over 500 million copies of his book. And Cornelia had written her own book. I wasn't done, but I just went there because I wanted to know, how do I let people know this book exists? In that process, Cornelia just floored me. She says, I'm an editor. I just want to offer my editing services as a gift for free because I believe in what you're doing. I just want to be a part of it. Now, I had no idea at that moment in time how intertwined our lives would be over this process. But she's edited the book so many times, not only in English, but now also in German that's about to launch, and helped in so many ways from the beginning of the launch of the book with so much love that now as we're setting up a new entity, I said, Cornelia, I need you to be the chief operating officer. And so this is the first time we're announcing this publicly, but I just want to send Cornelia so much love for all the work she's done without title, without needing any acknowledgement. We love you and we're with you, Cornelia.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to be of Seva, because for me, it was really as looking back now that all my life, looks as if everything I've ever done in my life has prepared me for what I'm doing right now here in this work with the Ancient Secrets Foundation and with Dr. Clint. And it's just absolutely amazing to be a part of such a community. And I'm 61 now. And for me, it's really that I can honestly say I've never felt more content and happier in my life than particularly in the last 1.5 years, but it's just absolutely amazing. And I'm really, really grateful for the lineage and everyone who is involved to give me the opportunity to be here and serve. I love that.
So beautiful. All right, so please show us the inside of Kajabi. Now, having spoken,
So this is where we take this little break, because now I'm actually going into Kajabi for everyone who hasn't quite found their way into it yet. And let me just prepare that. Give me 1 second. This is the one link I need in a second. And so what I'm going to do right now is to open up I'm often enough using my kind of Safari. And right now I'm already in my course, but I will actually log out to show you how to get back in. So the link that we are using is this one, and I will also post that in the chat in a second. So when I click on that, now that I'm logged out, Oh yeah, I should have logged out. Sorry about that. This window comes up. So you need to type in your email address and your password. So I have saved my passwords. That's what I do with some of them, and I use just my index finger in order to get it in. And this is then the page that shows up when you are logging in. And you are right now in what's called the course library. And this is where your courses are. Some of you have just one, some of you have, like me, I have all of them. And somewhere here, there would be your course. And this is the one you're looking for, the 100-Day Ancient Secrets Experience 2024. And if it's not on your first page here somewhere, then you might need to go through one of those pages underneath, and they will then come up. But because I have so many, I have actually 7 pages. So I click here on this one. And this is then the starting page of the 100-day course. And you could click then on start the course, and it will take you then right into the course. This is just the overview. So we have at the moment a welcome section before we start, and then also the study guide that some of you most likely have already downloaded from here. And so what you need to do then is I start with the first one. This is a video that we have that you can watch also, again, how to come into Kajabi, but I'm explaining it right now, and you would watch that. Once you have watched that, what I want you to do with every single lesson is actually to go here and click complete, mark as complete. And you see what happens when I do that. It tells me it's complete, it's now blue, but also what happens, what also happens is that it shows me the next lesson. So I could go right to here to the next lesson, or I can go up here, and within that, what we call a module, this is the lessons within one module, and you can click on any of those right here. So here we have the welcome one. And then the next one would be the disclaimer. And this is definitely one that I need you to read. Dr. Clint was saying that it's the medical disclaimer again, and also mark it complete. And the moment I'm actually marking it complete, it would take me to the next module in this case. So I click on that. And here we have a little video from Dr. Clint, and I encourage you to watch that. And what we have here is something that I would invite you to really fill out in the next few days. It's a self-evaluation pre-course. And this is, I don't know, about 50 questions, and you have to evaluate yourself in certain areas. And you will do the very same evaluation after the 14 weeks. So you can actually see where you have changed and what has changed in your life, and how, particularly how you have changed. So you're going to do that twice. And to start it, you would actually click here. So I click right here, and so that would then come up here. So that's then the course, and you would just then type it. So that's how you do it. You just click wherever now, and you go through all of them. And at the very bottom, you would click submit, and then you will also get your responses will be emailed to you. So here, that's where we are. Now let's go into the next module, and that is actually where you, is the week 1. And the week 1, you will probably have already downloaded your study guide. And this is where always all the downloads are. It's always on the right side underneath this black box. And you just can, depending on what you're using, what browser you have, it's different. But I can just click on it and it automatically downloads, or sometimes something like that happens, a window pops up and you allow. And then, as you could see, it downloads it now to my computer. Also, on each of the pages, when you are in the lessons, there will be a link to this Zoom call. So when you are more or less in Kajabi at the moment, shortly before we have the call, then you could just link in from there as well. Right underneath that one will be in a short while the training call from today, as well as the challenge activity, which is not open yet, but it will be also here. And again, whenever, even if you only download something like that, just mark as complete, because then you can track where you are in your course, and we can also see where you are in your course. So that is more or less the most important things that you need to know about Kajabi. And then under each of those daily lessons, there is also a comment box. And we invite you to also interact here, even though we do have a Kajabi, WhatsApp group. You can also, if you want to say something, if you want to share something, you can also do it right here. And so we will, and then everyone can reply to each other, or you can start a new comment just by typing something in here and then posting it here. So that is the kind of tech stuff that we are covering right now. And if you have any questions, then we will not necessarily address them right now within the presentation, but at the end of the call. So let's go back into Lynn's video. So if you have questions, write them down, and then you can ask them at the end. Oh, okay. So you should see.
In that, I just want to acknowledge some other people. First of all, there's been a whole team of wonderful angels, Carol, Ray, and Jana. If you have any problems or any challenges, Dr. Ram says there's no such thing as problems. There's only opportunities. If you have any obstacles in which that you want to have a little bit of extra help, then we have a whole support team. So I just want to thank them so much for being such a backbone of support. There's also many other layers of support. In fact, I don't know if Dr. Stephen, if you're in a position that you can come on camera, but we have with us someone that will, you'll have house guides. You already met Dr. Giovanni. Deepika, she's from Australia. She's one of the house guides who had to leave the call a little bit early. But also Dr. Stephen, can you welcome everyone on behalf of the house guides?
Oh, absolutely. This was so much fun to do last time. And it's not a competition. It's a service. You're serving your house by being present, by participation. So by your participating, that's how you get healthy, and that's how you get happy.
Yeah. And I want to know also, why do you join the 100-day experience?
Wow. My experience started 20 years ago with Dr. Naram. That was my 100-year experience. I learned 100 years of life with him. And just to share with others my knowledge keeps me going, keeps me sharp, keeps me healthy, keeps me happy.
Can you share about that first meeting with Dr. Naram? Because it's so iconic, it's so amazing.
So somebody walked in my office, saw I had Ayurvedic herbs, and said, oh, my fiance brings this famous Indian doctor to town. I didn't know who he was, but something in me said, I have to see him. I drove 3 hours with a friend. We saw him. Huge amount of audience seats, and there were 5 of us there. And he gave a talk like there were 500 people there. And they said, oh, you should get your pulse taken by him. So we drove back to Syracuse, then I worked, and then we drove all the way back to South Fallsburg. And I sat down, he took my pulse and he said, you should work for me. And I said, oh, I'd love to work for you. He goes, that chair over there. And they sent me a patient over like 5 minutes later. And that
I love that so much. So you never know when you're in this line, this ancient secrets, how quickly you can be put to work, because knowing is not doing, but doing is doing. And the doing changes your being. And Dr. Ram did that in that specific instant, gave you a challenge activity that you fulfilled. And then since then, has continued with so much joy. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen, for just showing up with so much joy, and also being an example of don't be of service in a way that depletes you, but serve and follow love in a way it nourishes you. It should be joyful, even though some parts of the transformation sometimes can be uncomfortable. Like there's so much joy to it, and you're just such a good example of that. Thank you, Dr. Stephen.
Oh, you're welcome. A friend of mine coined the word self-full instead of selfless. Give from your fullness.
I love that. We could just actually learn that one point, and for most of us on the call, that would be enough. Okay, good. Just apply that. So thank you, Dr. Stephen.
Welcome.
Dr. Ram, he didn't actually learn ancient secrets that way. It wasn't the way that he learned it. He learned it from his master. So I'm going to go to the slides. If you have right now open your study guide, we'll go through these slides. And then the other part of it is I want to acknowledge each of you that you showed up, you said yes, that you're here. And so the real heroes of this experience is you being willing to do something different than you've done in the past. In fact, sometimes you'll see an outline of the whole course from the beginning to the end. In this particular case, I don't want you to come from that part of your brain that's what's next. Because in the worrying about what's happening next week or next month, sometimes you forget about the magic of this moment. So instead of saying what's next, I want you to say what's now. And I think that you'll find in that space that you have everything you need and more. Well, what if on this planet, things change so much in the next years? Like 4 years ago, would you have believed if someone was going to tell you what the planet was about to go through? So what can we do now that isn't just memorizing information, but allowing our being to be such that we're connected with source, and we're so much, Dr. Ram, he called it being creators instead of consumers of experience. Instead of being consumers where something bad happens in the world and we consume the fear and we take the fear, what if we're creators? That we believe this principle that Dr. Ram taught me, which is that there's no problem that exists on the planet without a solution. Every problem on the planet has a solution. Whatever is your challenge, your difficulty, your heartache has within it the seeds of equal or greater benefit. What if sometime this year, cell phones stop working, or the internet stops working, or the stock market stops working, or there's something else that happens on the planet, some natural disaster or something? What if during this 100 days, you create your emergency kit, your Ancient Secrets emergency kit? It's one of the challenge activities we'll do, that you're prepared to help yourself and others, but not just in the kit, the physical items, but your being is such that if the stock market collapses, you're like, okay, I got this. I'm going to be part of the solution, not the problem. Atiti Devo Bhava, this must be some unexpected guest in which God himself or herself is showing up. What is it that it's calling from me? What is love calling me to do in this moment? So this experience now is not about what's next, it's about what's now. And how is love guiding me? All right, if you have your study guides open, I'm going to go through these points just to give a framework, and then we're going to break into breakout rooms. So there's so many of these secrets about true transformation. Like Dr. Ram's master said, and I just said it earlier, every adversity, every difficult situation or heartbreak has within it the seeds of equal or greater benefit. I think you'll find that whatever things in the past that seemed like heartaches ended up being some of the greatest gifts. Well, part of this experience is certain of the challenge activities will push you to the point of Dr. Ram. He talked about, Dr. Ram's masters told him 2 of the greatest obstacles to seeing ourselves and others clearly is fear and ego. Fear and ego. So if we have fear or if we have ego, it's hard to see clearly. But when you come from love, when you come from possibility, then you have a different set of options available no matter what challenge comes, including whatever you choose as the one that you'll focus on for this 100 days. So what is your expectations? What do you hope to gain as a result of participating in this 100-day experience? We're going to go into breakout rooms shortly in which you'll have a chance to meet other people and share what is your hope? The big part of the Ancient Secrets, whenever Dr. Ram would meet someone, is asking them, what do you want? I love that was a part of this whole healing modality. And so this is the question that you'll be answering in the breakout room is, what do you want? I encourage you that when you go in the breakout room, you trust the divine. You trust that you're going to be with exactly the right people that you're meant to be with for this experience. And as you share, you practice something Dr. Ram would do. He always practiced. He says, when I'm helping someone,
I don't feel like I'm doing them some great service, but I feel like they're giving me an honor because I get to help serve the divine in them. So in your group, I want you to practice seeing the divine in the other members, even if maybe there's someone that does something annoys you. Okay, Atiti Devo Baba. What is the unexpected gift? What is how is this unexpected guest, the divine, showing up? So what is your expectations? What do you want? I want you to start thinking about that so that you have a chance in the breakout rooms to share. The ancient history of this Siddha Veda, Dr. Naram's master lived to the age of 125 years, young. He met him Dr. Naram met his master when his master was 115 years, and he had 10 years with this great master. His master said the three most important things to achieve in life are to know what you want, to achieve what you want, and to enjoy what you've achieved. He said 95% of people don't know what they want. They're just wandering through life like window shopping. 3%, they know what they want, but they never achieve it. They don't have the right tools, technology, support. What I love about this 100-day experience is the support is off the charts with the mentors and with the guides and with the guest presenters that we have to speak. He said 1% of people, they know what they want, they achieve it, but they don't enjoy it. With Dr. Ram, I met so many billionaires and Hollywood and Bollywood stars that were not enjoying life. In the process of achieving, they did it in a toxic way, where they got health problems or relationship problems with their spouse or kid problems, or they had done something that wasn't good for the earth, so they couldn't sleep at night. So what he said, Dr. Ram says 1% of people, they know what they want, they achieve it, and they enjoy it. These ancient secrets, it's not just about getting your health back, but what do you do with life when you have it? So this 100-day experience it's like the launching point for something that new that we'll be offering, which is about personal mastery, using the ancient secrets for personal mastery of health, of relationships, and of abundance that I'll talk about more at some point. But Dr. Ram studied with his master after his master, and I'll share the whole story on next call. But after 100 days of begging his master finally says, okay, I'll start training you. And then a 1,000-day training program began. 3 years in which he went deep into these ancient secrets. I was with Dr. Ram for 10 years, studying as a university researcher, at the beginning as a skeptic, but then documenting like crazy, not only what he was doing, but how. And in this 100-day course, I'm taking he would call it the bij, the seeds or the nectar, putting it in such a way that we can live it so that it lives in you. The reason why I feel like that's so powerful, let's see, I think I'm sharing the screen now. Put your thumb up if you can see the screen. You can see the screen? Okay, good. So Ayurveda, what is Ayurveda and what is Siddha Veda? Ayurveda is, again, this ancient, beautiful healing system in India going back thousands of years. If you translate it, it means the science of life. I love that because as a scientist myself, as a researcher, I loved, okay, what's the science of life? Now, what is Siddha Veda? The Siddha Veda of this lineage is unique because it goes a step beyond. It respects and recognizes, honors the ancient traditional healing methods, yet it goes even deeper in many areas because it was passed down master to student. Another name for it is Siddha Veda, is Siddha Raharsam. It's beautiful. Siddha Veda is not associated with any religion. We mentioned that before, but it's a school of thought. It welcomes people from all backgrounds and traditions, passed down from master to student for thousands of years as a lineage of practitioners. And when taught by a master, you can receive a siddhi, which is a grace, or in this healing lineage, a special ability to serve. When I heard that from Dr. Ram, I loved it because he made a big point that sometimes if there's a guru, they always became the guru and there's always people below them. But he says in this lineage, every master is always a student, and also every student can become a master. It's a school of thought which can be learned and applied, in which then there you have the knowing, the doing, and the being to be an instrument, a powerful instrument of health, of healing on this planet. There's 6 secret keys or instruments of Siddha Veda. So in this 100-day experience, you'll be having a deep dive experience in diet and nutrition. You know, it's amazing how even if you went to medical school, I one of my dear friends went to medical school at a very well-known medical institution. Everyone would know the name, and they had one class on diet during that whole time. But what if this is the fuel for our bodies, our minds, our emotions? And in the ancient secrets, diet doesn't only affect your body, but your emotions. Also, it affects your clarity, your memory, you know, your mind power. So what are those secrets? Then home remedies. What if there's things in your own kitchen, you know, that if you mix can be part of the things that keep you having vibrant health, unlimited energy, and peace of mind? On tomorrow's Sunday's inspiration call, we're going to be talking about some of the most powerful home remedies that you have in your kitchen, or if you don't, you should get. Herbal formulas. These were masters at knowing the plants that grow. In fact, during this 100-day experience, you're going to learn what are the local plants that a lot of people may even think are weeds, but they actually are very medicinal. They have properties that can help you, and they grow locally for a reason. And we'll have some exercise about that. Marma Shakti. So powerful. I didn't know what that word was, but now it's like such a powerful part of my life. You'll be learning practical marmas that you can do from anywhere. Now, let's say some natural disaster happens. So with Dr. Naram, he was in Nepal when the earthquakes happened, or some of you have been in hurricanes, or, you know, when all the hospitals are crowded, or when there's no way an emergency vehicle can get to you. What if you know, for a starting point, what points to press so you can help balance your blood pressure, so you can help reduce anxiety, so you can go to clear thinking, so you can reduce pain? What if you know the home remedies that you can mix together that can help a wound, or help with help you sleep? You know, what if you become, still call the emergency, call 911, please do. But what if they can't come for hours or days? What if you become so powerful from learning the Marma? And the other thing I love about Marma is you always have your arms with you and it's free. So why not learn the Marma points that are so powerful that you can use to help yourself and others? And in this course, you'll be learning so many of these in a very practical way. Then Astakarma or Panchakarma. This one's a little more difficult because usually it's a 4 or 5 week process that you do at somewhere like Ayush Shakti in India or other places that offer it. We are going to do something that's a home detox option during this course. So for either 7 days or 30 days, you'll have a chance to choose. You'll be able to do a home detox. Dr. Ram says, you know, from that alone, you get 70–80% of the benefit of if you went for a Panchakarma. Now, there's some people who were in the 100-day course originally that are right now in India doing Panchakarma. Daniel, and I think Barbara Kwa, maybe she's on this call, is there right now. Actually, Barbara, are you on this call right now? Let's see if she's, I don't know if she's here. Or
yes, I'm here.
Oh, good. Are you in India right now, or did you make it home?
I'm home now. I'm home now.
You just completed your Panchakarma, though.
Yes, I did.
Your skin is glowing. So you're back in the Netherlands, but you look like you're so light.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
If anyone on this experience, this 100 days, is interested in going to India, please contact this email address. I'll just put it here. It's team@myancientsecrets.com. And then we can tell you they're sold out months in advance, and it's relatively affordable, but it costs some money. But if you're interested in having that deep healing experience, we'll provide that for you. Just email there. But Barbara, I'm so glad you look great. And I just always thinking about you and your
such a great experience.
Yeah. So Panchakarma is 5 processes. Astakarma means 8 processes of cleansing the body, and then lifestyle. Now, let's say you're on a budget, or you don't have a lot of money to buy herbal formulas or go for Panchakarma. No problem. Start with what you have. Start with lifestyle. What if you start by exercising more? What if you change your friends to be friends that are more positive? You know, what if you get better quality of sleep? Or what if you remove certain toxic things from your life and align yourself? Dr. Ram says anything is a medicine or poison depending on how you use it, including your work. So what if you align yourself with the things that are medicine in your life? Okay, just want to go through these remaining slides so people don't feel left out in your work, in your study guides. Jivaka, I'm going to be talking about a lot more, but basically Siddhaveda, it's a school of thought focused on the ancient principles of discovering and achieving what you want. I want to make a point that this powerful healing lineage, you are now a part of. You're connected with this lineage. At one point, we'll talk more about the houses. And then I also just want to say, one side effect, one warning is that contagious healing can happen. From your participation in this course, it can help bless so many people. Dr. Ram says, I have 2 major illnesses, chronic happiness syndrome and chronic energy syndrome, and they are contagious. So from you participating in this experience, even without you saying anything to those you love, most likely they'll start asking you questions. Like you saw how beautiful Barbara was, how good she is. People are probably asking her, what did you do? We also have the Sunday inspiration calls. They're open for you to invite friends and family. Although what happens often looks like magic, it's really an ancient science. It's a technology of transformation for deeper healing. And Dr. Ram's mission was to share the ancient healing secrets in every heart and every home, in which this experience now is a powerful manifestation of it. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. And now I want you to get a chance to meet the people in your pod. I'm going to prepare you for this. So again, trust that you're going to be with the exact right people. Share from your heart. You have actually from the rest of the call, you can stay on as long as you want. You can either stay for 5 minutes or you can go, but make sure you share each other's information. We have inside of Kajabi, there's an environment where you can all communicate with each other. But on today's call, I want you to share your why. What do you want? Why did you join this experience? What's one thing that you would like to see to apply the ancient secrets? And you can feel free to be vulnerable in this space. Now, as you're sharing, I want you to practice sharing from your heart. And as you listen, I want you to practice listening, not to solve anyone's problem, but just to understand and encourage them. So you may know many things that could help that from different systems or different healing systems. You may be a doctor, a nurse, or healer of some other modality, but I want you to use this sandbox in the 100-day course or the 100-day experience to practice not knowing. I want you to practice discovering something new. So if someone in your pod has some challenge, don't immediately try and solve their problem, but just listen and understand and encourage them to apply the ancient secrets. And then also, Mia, good point. What if I've not received a welcome email? Some of you, the emails are going to your spam, or in my case, Gmail has something called promotions and social. And so you have to click on those tabs and find it on. But right now, more important than anything, I want you to meet each other and have this chance in this space to drop into your hearts, to come from the space of not knowing, but trusting. Instead of asking what's next, what's now, and having a chance to connect with those in your pod. Pod is about 5 or 6 people. This is so you can have a more intimate connection and communication of people in this journey. Then you can not only learn from your own. So say, for instance, my thing I'm picking for the 100-day experiences, I want my blood pressure to be more balanced. I learn not only from mine, but I hear from someone else says, oh, I want to learn how to lose weight, but in a healthy way, in a non-toxic way. Oh, cool. Then I get to learn the ancient secrets from my podmate about what are they applying. Then someone else says, I really want to help my child who struggles with ADD, ADHD. And so you'll be supporting, encouraging, and learning from each other in this journey. In fact, your challenge activity this week will be going inside of the community area of the Kajabi portal and just posting, who are you? And also, what do you want? What do you want as a result of this experience? And we'll give you all those instructions. Right now, I just want to make sure you have enough time to meet your pod members. So great. And I just want to say, because we will let you go into the breakout room for as long as you want. We aren't going to come back to the main section. So because we have little tradition, when I first went to Nepal, this 100-day experience is supporting these orphan kids in Nepal. Some of the pictures were in the PowerPoint, but a lot of what you've done, what you've contributed goes to them. In fact, the recordings now will provide an income source for them now indefinitely. As I was going after Dr. Ram passed away to the orphan home, Krishna, and I just want to acknowledge not only Dr. Ram, but his family, his beautiful wife, Smita, and also wonderful son, Krishna. Krishna said, let's have people all over the world record videos saying, I love you and I'm with you. And then it just became part of the Ancient Secrets community. And then in tradition of the Ancient Secrets community, I'm just going to invite everyone to unmute yourself.
So we are stopping right here because that is actually what we're going when we are finished here. So that was the end of the recording from last year's session. And it was a very inspiring talk from Dr. Clint leading us into this experience of 14 weeks. And I will now hand it over to Carol because as you heard from Dr. Clint, it is about when we go into the breakout rooms, what is it that you want? And as some of you already know, there is a MAMA that we can do in order to find that one out. And Carol is now guiding you through that MAMA.
So there's a lot of science behind MAMAs and why and how they work. This particular one is a staple that you can do every day, 6 times a day. As you're new to it, you may want to set your alarm every 3 or 4 hours to repeat it so that you get in the habit of constantly asking yourself and reaffirming, what do you want? And in our hands, the left hand, it looks like right on my video, but the left hand is the past and the right hand is the future. And we use the index finger of the right hand and we press it 6 times. We're just going to do that first time, and then we're going to add something to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's the what do you want MAMA. This time we're going to add a little more visualization to it. We're manifesting what we want. So you create a frame, a white frame over your right eye, and in it you ask your highest consciousness, your highest self, what do I want? And let your consciousness fill that void for you. And so we're going to do it again. This time we take a deep breath, our feet are on the ground, our back is straight, and we create that frame and we ask our highest self, what do I want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then when we have it, we express gratitude. I'm so grateful that I am always at the right place at the right time for my highest divine purpose. And then we pat our hearts 6 times that we anchor in what we want. Cornelia?
Yeah, if you want to talk a little bit, because I'm just setting up the breakout rooms as I couldn't do it showing my video. If you give me 1 second.
Okay, so a second piece to this will just give you an advanced training, and this is something that we ran across in a kind of a obscure video from Dr. Naram, is using the second joint of the right hand and the index finger and ask your highest self, what is the most important thing for me to do now? And that might be completely different than what you want, but it's something that, because our highest self has a greater awareness of the big picture, it can come to you that the most important thing you need to do right now is get your blood pressure under control, or whatever it might be. So we're going to do that one too. In the middle of the index finger, feet on the ground, back is straight. Nice breath, and then ask ourselves, what is the most important thing for me to do now, or focus on now, or prioritize now, however the words come best to you. And then the third one, we're really going advanced, is to create the vision. How will I feel? What will change? What will my life be like when I have and am what I want to be? When I have what I want and I am who I want to be, what will it feel like? What will it be like? For Dr. Naram's mother, it was somebody who was on a bedpan and unable to stand. What she wanted was to walk in the Himalayas, and she actually achieved her goal, but she had to visualize herself. She was there, she was walking, she was inhaling the aroma of the mountains and feeling the crisp, cool air. So we visualize ourselves having and being what we want.
Thank you so much. So these, for a lot of you who are actually pretty new to the MAMAs, it might not automatically happen that you can actually see what it is that you want. So we encourage you to do this practice several times a day and sit with it And even if you press in one of the videos, Dr. Noam kind of said, okay, you press this and you hold it and you just wait. And wait if something pictures come up, because often you don't really want to know. And what we are talking about right now is kind of a bigger picture. What do you want to achieve for the 100 days? But also what you are going to do is to think about what health challenge it is that you want to kind of work with for the next 14 weeks. Because when you, so there's also coming a doja quiz, so you find out a little bit more about, that is now advanced, what kind of constitutions you have. And then you apply the ancient secrets to whatever that health challenge is that you might have at the moment, and see how they work for you, because that is how we use the knowledge that we are getting here and make it practical in our own life. So that is what you see, and the challenge activity is actually about that. So you can, if you haven't done so yet and you have never had a consultation with a Vaidya, which is Ayurvedic practitioner, you can book one. They are not very expensive, because they are like $30 or something like that now. And you can have a phone consultation with them on Zoom, and they can then also help you decide what to do and how to do it. If they tell you to take supplements, you can choose to do that, but you don't have to. But it's also about you kind of finding out what you can do. I didn't buy these supplements when I couldn't receive them. I'm living in the Bahamas. So I just worked with Mama Points and with lifestyle changes, and definitely with my diet and the home remedies. So that is what I used when I went through the first 100 days. Carol, did you check the chat if there are any questions that we need to answer before we go into breakout rooms?
Yes, I'll put in the WhatsApp, I'll post a thing about the marmas that we just did, so that you'll have those in that form on WhatsApp. And also
Yeah.
the link to Kajabi will be coming in the chat. And I don't know if you want to put the link in here or not. Also,
I
if
can
you want to
definitely
save this chat, there's 3 dots down at the bottom of the chat screen. There's a like a format, and then a smiley face, and then there's a file, and then 3 dots. If you click the 3 dots, the first thing it says is save chat, and it'll save it to your computer.
Okay, let me find quickly again the chat here. It's up here. So I post now the link that takes you right to the Kajabi page again. So if you click on that, it should open it, and I explained how to get into it. Oh, I obviously raised my hand. I clicked the wrong button. Anything else?
That's it, I believe.
I think that that's it. So the challenge activity will actually be to find out what you want. And next week, we are going down to start going a little bit deeper into what are the doshas and what are the elements that we are all made of, and what are your constitutions. So we are actually getting into the knowledge of what Ayurveda and Siddha Veda are teaching. And so that is really something to look forward to. If you haven't joined the WhatsApp group yet, please do, so we can easily communicate with you. And with that, I'm opening up the breakout rooms. And I have one person that I cannot assign because I don't know who you are, but I will take care of it. And Tara, when you go into the room, can you get started with the group? Because I will be coming in a tiny bit late because I need to assign that one person. Okay. Galaxy Note 10. I don't know who you are. Can you give me your name?